Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. In one of my videos, I discussed about the top 10 fastest growing economy in the world, but in this video, I will be focusing on Africa booming economy. Africa, often described as the last frontier of global economic expansion, has been experiencing remarkable economic transformations over the past decade. While the continent's growth story is multifaceted, characterized by varying political stability, infrastructural challenges, and socio-economic dynamics, certain nations stand out due to their rapid GDP growth, policy reforms, demographic dividends, and increased foreign investments. This analysis delves into the top 10 fastest-growing economies in Africa as of recent data, 2024 to 2025. Number 10, Mozambique. Mozambique's economy is experiencing significant growth, primarily driven by its expanding LNG, liquefied natural gas sector, and ongoing improvements in infrastructure. Major LNG projects, such as Total Energy's Mozambique LNG and ExxonMobil's Rovuma LNG, are playing a transformative role in boosting the country's economic performance. In addition to natural gas, Mozambique is endowed with abundant arable land and marine resources, making agriculture and fisheries key contributors to its GDP infrastructure development, particularly in ports, roads, and energy sectors, provides a strong foundation for continued economic growth and regional connectivity. However, the country faces notable challenges. Persistent insurgencies in the Cabo Delgado region, coupled with external debt pressures, pose significant risks that could potentially slow down its growth momentum if not carefully managed. Number 9. Benin Republic. Benin, though a smaller economy, has recorded consistent and impressive growth rates in recent years, with its estimated GDP growth projected at 5% to 5.5% for 2024 to 2025. One of the country's major economic strengths lies in its strategic role as a port and logistics hub. The port of Cote serves as a vital trade gateway for landlocked neighboring countries such as Niger and Burkina Faso, facilitating regional commerce. Agriculture remains a key sector for Benin, particularly through the diversification of its agricultural base. Cotton exports and agro-processing industries play a significant role in driving the country's economic activities. Additionally, Benin has undertaken various structural reforms aimed at modernizing its economy. Public-private partnerships and digitization initiatives have enhanced the efficiency and competitiveness of key sectors. However, the country faces several challenges. Benin is exposed to regional insecurity, which can disrupt trade and stability. Moreover, its agricultural sector is vulnerable to climatic shocks, which could impact production and overall economic resilience. Number 8. Ghana. Between 2024 and 2025, Ghana's economy is expected to expand at an estimated pace of 4.8% to 5.5% due to its robust democratic governance and diverse economic base, both of which make the nation a desirable place for investment. The country has made a name for itself as a major oil producer and is one of Africa's top producers of gold. Gold and oil are two industries that are vital to Ghana's economic expansion. In addition to its natural riches, Ghana's ICT and financial services industries are expanding quickly. One of the most prominent technological ecosystems in West Africa is Accra, the capital city, which is becoming a thriving center for financial innovation and entrepreneurs. Ghana has also made significant progress in putting new policies into effect. The country's macroeconomic stability and investor confidence have improved as a result of targeted budget consolidation initiatives and fruitful interactions with the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Nonetheless, a number of difficulties still exist. A significant debt servicing burden, high inflation rates, and pressures on currency depreciation continue to be short-term barriers to sustainable growth. Number 7. Kenya. Estimated GDP growth, 2024 to 2025, 5% to 5.8%. Kenya, recognized as East Africa's largest economy, continues to demonstrate solid economic performance despite facing various external pressures. The country's estimated GDP growth rate is projected to range between 5% and 5.8% for the period 2024 to 2025. A key driver of Kenya's growth is its dynamic financial services and ICT sectors. Nairobi has emerged as a leading fintech hub in Africa, with innovative solutions such as M-Pesa playing a transformative role in promoting financial inclusion and digital transactions. The agriculture sector remains central to the economy. Exports of tea and horticultural products, along with strong inflows of remittances, serve as vital sources of foreign exchange and support household incomes. In addition, Kenya has invested heavily in infrastructure development. The completion of major roads, ports, and railway projects has significantly enhanced regional trade links, contributing to improved logistics and economic integration. However, the country faces notable challenges. Elevated public debt levels, persistent fiscal deficits, and episodes of political friction present potential risks to Kenya's economic stability and long-term growth trajectory. Number 6. Uganda. Estimated GDP growth, 2024 to 2025, 5.5% to 6%. Uganda is increasingly positioning itself as a key growth leader within East Africa, with projected GDP growth ranging from 5.5% to 6% for 2024 to 2025. The country's economic momentum is largely supported by its emerging oil production sector and a youthful, rapidly expanding population. A cornerstone of Uganda's growth strategy is the development of its oil sector. The Lake Albert Oil Project, which is expected to commence production soon, stands out as a major driver of economic expansion, offering prospects for increased revenue and job creation. In addition to oil, agriculture and services play a vital role in the country's economic profile. Uganda is one of Africa's leading coffee exporters, and advancements in its ICT sector have further bolstered GDP growth, creating new avenues for innovation and investment. A significant demographic advantage lies in Uganda's young and growing population, which presents immense labor force potential. However, harnessing this population dividend will require sustained efforts in job creation, education, and skill development. Despite its growth potential, Uganda faces several challenges: political uncertainty, ongoing infrastructure deficits, and the risk of social unrest, largely linked to unemployment and governance issues, could pose obstacles to long-term stability and economic progress. Number 5. Tanzania. Estimated GDP growth, 2024 to 2025, 5.8% to 6.3%. Tanzania continues to maintain stable and robust economic growth, with its GDP projected to expand between 5.8% and 6.3% over the 2024 to 2025 period. The country's economic performance is underpinned by a balanced mix of natural resources, strategic infrastructure development, and a favorable pro-business environment. The mining and natural resources sector plays a central role in Tanzania's economy. The nation is rich in gold and nickel reserves and is also emerging as a significant player in the liquefied natural gas (LNG) market, attracting substantial foreign direct investment (FDI). Tanzania has also prioritized infrastructure mega-projects to enhance connectivity and energy capacity. Key projects such as the Standard Gauge Railway (SGR) and the Julius Nyerere Hydropower Dam are pivotal in boosting trade linkages and ensuring reliable power supply across the country. Tourism remains another vital pillar of the Tanzanian economy. World-renowned destinations such as the Serengeti National Park, Mount Kilimanjaro, and Zanzibar contribute significantly to foreign exchange earnings and GDP growth. Nevertheless, certain challenges persist. In the past, regulatory unpredictability has dampened investor enthusiasm. However, recent leadership has taken concrete steps to create a more predictable and investor-friendly regulatory environment. Additionally, improving the delivery of social services, including healthcare and education, remains a key area requiring further attention to ensure inclusive development. Number 4. Senegal. Estimated GDP growth, 2024 to 2025, 6% to 6.5%. Senegal is on a strong economic trajectory, with its GDP expected to grow between 6% and 6.5%, period, 2024 to 2025 period. The country's growth is underpinned by a combination of political stability, strategic economic reforms, and a rapidly developing hydrocarbon sector. A major catalyst for Senegal's economic expansion is its recent oil and gas discoveries. Key projects such as the Greater Tortue Amayam gas field and the Sangomar oil field are set to elevate Senegal's status as a significant energy exporter, attracting foreign investment and generating new revenue streams. In parallel, Senegal has prioritized infrastructure development through the implementation of the Plan Sénégal Émergent (PSE). This initiative has channeled public investments into vital sectors, including transport, energy, and education, laying a strong foundation for sustainable, long-term growth. Furthermore, the service economy is playing an increasingly important role. Dakar's strategic position as a hub in West Africa enhances the country's competitiveness in financial services, tourism, and trade, further diversifying the economy. Despite these positive developments, Senegal faces certain challenges. The growing reliance on oil and gas revenues exposes the economy to potential volatility from global commodity price fluctuations. Additionally, persistent issues such as poverty and high youth unemployment rates remain critical concerns that require targeted policy interventions. Number 3. Ethiopia. Ethiopia, one of Africa's most populous countries, continues to exhibit strong economic growth despite facing recent internal conflicts. For the period 2024 to 2025, the country's GDP growth is projected to range between 6% and 6.8%. A significant driver of Ethiopia's growth is its public sector-led development strategy. The government has invested heavily in infrastructure, with key projects in transportation, including railways and airports, and energy infrastructure such as the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which is set to enhance power supply and regional influence. The country is also actively pursuing an industrialization agenda. The development of industrial parks and special economic zones, SEZs, has attracted substantial foreign direct investment, FDI, particularly in the textiles, apparel, and light manufacturing sectors, creating employment opportunities and fostering export growth. Agriculture continues to serve as the backbone of Ethiopia's economy, employing a large share of the population and contributing significantly to GDP. However, the services sector is gaining increasing prominence, particularly following recent liberalization efforts. Telecommunications and fintech are emerging as key growth areas, opening up new avenues for economic diversification. Despite these positive trends, Ethiopia faces considerable challenges. Ethnic tensions and internal displacement pose risks to political and social stability. Additionally, foreign exchange shortages continue to constrain economic activity and external trade, potentially limiting growth prospects in the medium term. Number 2. Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. Cote d'Ivoire continues to stand out as one of Africa's fastest-growing economies, with a projected GDP growth rate between 6% and 6.5% for 2024 to 2025. The country's impressive economic performance is underpinned by robust investments in infrastructure, a strong agricultural sector, and a stable political environment. The agriculture sector, particularly cocoa production, plays a vital role in Cote d'Ivoire's economy. As the world's largest cocoa producer, the country benefits greatly from global demand, which supports both export revenues and employment. Significant investments in infrastructure, including transportation networks, energy, and urban development projects, have strengthened the nation's economic foundation and improved connectivity, both domestically and regionally. Number 1. Rwanda. Rwanda continues to rank among Africa's fastest-growing economies, with projected GDP growth between 7.5% and 8% over the 2024 to 2025 period. The country has demonstrated remarkable economic resilience and governance efficiency, successfully transforming itself in the post-genocide era into a model of stability and reform. One of Rwanda's key strengths lies in its commitment to fostering a business-friendly environment. The country consistently ranks as one of Africa's top performers in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index, thanks to extensive regulatory reforms, streamlined administrative processes, and pro-investment policies that encourage entrepreneurship and attract foreign direct investment. Rwanda has also prioritized significant investments in infrastructure. Major projects include the development of the Kigali Innovation City, enhancements to transport corridors, and expansion of energy generation capacity. These initiatives are aimed at strengthening the country's position as a regional hub for trade, innovation, and investment. Tourism and the ICT sector play crucial roles in Rwanda's economic diversification strategy. The country has become a leading destination for ecotourism, capitalizing on its unique natural attractions such as mountain gorillas and national parks. Simultaneously, Rwanda has made strides in building a robust ICT sector, promoting digital solutions and services as part of its broader Vision 2050 development strategy. Africa's fastest-growing economies present a dynamic mix of opportunity and complexity. What stands out is the diversity in growth models, ranging from Rwanda's service-led model to Cote d'Ivoire's agro-industrial base and Mozambique's natural gas surge. For sustainable and inclusive growth, these nations must focus on structural reforms, human capital development, political stability, and climate resilience. Challenges and risks to long-term growth. While these African economies show strong growth potential, they face some common risks that could slow their progress. Political instability and governance. Coups, disputed elections, and strict political control can shake investor confidence and disrupt economic stability. Debt and fiscal pressure. High levels of public debt, especially in Ghana, Kenya, and Mozambique, reduce government flexibility after heavy borrowing during the pandemic. Climate vulnerability. Many of these economies depend on agriculture, making them highly vulnerable to climate issues like droughts, floods, and desertification, which can hurt food production and incomes. And there you have it, the top 10 fastest-growing economy in Africa. Subscribe, like, share, and comment on the video if you like it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.